You were the boy she didn't want. You were the one who was left behind, discarded like a fleeting thought. That rejection burned into your soul, didn't it? It cut deep, but that pain, it's your fuel now. Use it. Every time you remember her walking away, remember that she saw you as nothing more than a boy. But boys grow up, and this is your time to transform. Become the man who doesn't chase, who doesn't plead, who doesn't break. Become the man who builds himself from the ashes of that rejection. Forge your body, sharpen your mind, and steel your heart. She didn't want you then, but that was just the beginning of your story, not the end. Now become the man she can never touch, never hold, never have. The man who stands tall, unshakable, a fortress of strength and resolve. Let her see the man you've become and realize she missed out on something extraordinary. Let her regret, but never let her back in. This is your revenge, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with success, power, and self-mastery. You were the boy she didn't want. Now become the man she can only dream of having, but will never deserve. Remember the nights you spent wondering why you weren't enough. Remember the doubt, the pain, the hollow ache that made you question your worth. Let those memories sink in. Let them remind you of where you started. But don't dwell there. Use it. That emptiness is the void you'll fill with discipline, with power, with unbreakable will. Every time you're tempted to falter, think of her. Think of how she didn't see the potential within you, how she walked away without a second glance. That's your edge now. You're not just proving something to her. You're proving it to yourself. You're proving that the boy she didn't want is gone, buried beneath layers of sweat, grit, and relentless drive. She's out there living her life thinking she's moved on. But one day she'll hear about you. She'll see the man you've become, and she'll realize that the boy she overlooked has transformed into something far beyond her reach. And when that day comes, you won't need her validation. You'll be so far ahead that her opinion will be nothing more than a whisper in the wind.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
This isn't about getting even. This is about rising so far above who you were that she becomes a distant memory, a catalyst in your journey, but never the destination. Your goal is not to make her regret her choice. Your goal is to build a life so fulfilling, so powerful, that no one can ever take anything from you again. You were the boy she didn't want. But now, you're becoming the man no one can have, because you belong to yourself. You're unstoppable, and nothing, no rejection, no past, no fleeting emotion will ever hold you back again. Becoming a man through discipline is about transforming yourself into someone who doesn't merely chase after fleeting desires, but builds a life defined by purpose, strength, and unwavering resolve. Discipline is the cornerstone of this transformation, force that shapes your actions, your mindset, and ultimately, your destiny. It starts with setting clear goals. You need to define, with absolute clarity, what kind of man you want to become. What do you want to achieve, physically, mentally, and emotionally? Once you've envisioned this, break your goals down into smaller, actionable steps. Discipline is about knowing exactly what you're working toward and refusing to let anything distract you from that path. Mastering your routine is essential. Discipline thrives on consistency, on the unbroken repetition of habits that align with your goals. Whether it's waking up early, working out, honing a skill, or dedicating time to personal growth, these actions must become non-negotiable parts of your daily life. Over time, these routines will become second nature, building your resilience and sharpening your focus. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't about feeling motivated all the time. It's about doing the work, especially when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you're tired, tempted to take the easy way out, or overwhelmed by doubt. This is where discipline shows its true power. It means pushing through those moments, understanding that each time you do, you're forging yourself into something stronger, something unbreakable. A disciplined man doesn't let impulses control him. You have to practice self-control in everything, from what you eat, to how you spend, to how you react to challenges. This means learning to say no to instant gratification, and yes, to the long-term rewards that come from consistent effort and restraint. Every time you resist a temptation or choose the harder path, you're building the foundation of the man you're becoming. Accountability is another pillar of discipline. No one is going to do this for you. You have to hold yourself accountable day in and day out. Track your progress. Be brutally honest about where you're falling short and make adjustments as needed. When you fail, and you will, it's crucial to not make excuses. Own your failures, learn from them, and get back on track. Discipline is about persistence, about getting up every time you're knocked down. Mental toughness is as crucial as physical strength. Discipline isn't just about the body, it's about the mind. You must strengthen your mental resilience through challenges. Regularly push yourself beyond your comfort zone, whether it's through intense physical exercise, tackling difficult tasks, or enduring discomfort. Each challenge you overcome builds your mental fortitude, making you more resilient, more focused, and ultimately, more disciplined. Discipline is also a profound form of self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're building your self-worth. The more you adhere to your goals and standards, the more you see yourself as capable and worthy. This internal respect will radiate outward, influencing how others perceive you and how you interact with the world. Your environment plays a significant role in maintaining discipline. Surround yourself with people who share your values and who will push you to be better. Remove distractions and temptations that make it harder to stay disciplined. Create an environment that fosters growth, focus, and determination, and you'll find it easier to stay on track. Be relentless in your pursuit of excellence. Discipline is not a one-time effort. It's a lifelong commitment. You must keep pushing yourself, even after you've achieved a goal. The moment you stop growing, you start declining. A disciplined man is never satisfied with mediocrity. He's always striving for more, for better, for greatness. Finally, take time to reflect and adapt. Regularly assess your progress. Are you becoming the man you set out to be? If not, adjust your approach. Discipline is not about rigidity. It's about resilience. Use every setback as a stepping stone, every mistake as a lesson, and continue to move forward. By applying discipline in these ways, you will not only become the man you've always wanted to be, but you will also become a man who commands respect, achieves greatness, and lives life on his own terms. Discipline is the difference between wishing for something and working for it, between being the boy she didn't want and becoming the man no one can have.
Those who refuse to face their own darkness are slaves to it, controlled by forces they refuse to acknowledge. They hide from their own depths, living in fear of what might surface if they let down their guard. But that darkness, that unknown within, will never go away. It only grows stronger in the shadows, waiting for the moment when it will seize control. To face it, to make it conscious, is the only way to gain mastery over it. To ignore it is to live as its puppet, forever at the mercy of the parts of yourself you refuse to confront. Enlightenment is not about becoming something pure. It is about becoming whole. It is not about ridding yourself of darkness, but about integrating it, understanding it, wielding it. Those who embrace only the light are incomplete, weak, divided against themselves, but those who make the darkness conscious are something else entirely. They are forces of nature, unbreakable because they have mastered the most dangerous parts of themselves. The darkness is not an enemy to be vanquished, it is a source of power waiting to be claimed. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, by hiding behind ideals that are too fragile to withstand reality. Enlightenment requires descending into the depths of the soul, confronting every part of yourself that you have tried to forget. It is a journey into the unknown within, a plunge into the void, where every fear, every regret, every desire waits. Those who fear the unknown within will never be free, because they are always hiding from themselves. But those who conquer that fear, who make the darkness conscious, become something that the light can never touch. To conquer the fear of the unknown is to understand that the unknown is not out there. It is within. And only those who have the strength to descend into that inner darkness, to confront it, to master it, can ever hope to rise above it. You need to experiment in the darkness. The unknown holds vast potential, the untapped depths where power waits for those who dare to reach into the void.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
The darkness is not empty. It is brimming with possibility, waiting for those with the courage to experiment, to push beyond the comfortable light and discover what lies on the other side. To remain within the bounds of what is known is to stay stagnant, to live a life of hollow routine, bound by the same constraints that keep the weak from greatness. But the darkness is an endless sea of possibility for those who have the will to dive in. Every experiment, every attempt in the darkness is a step toward unlocking something powerful, something that feeds your frenzy. Greatness is not stumbled upon. It is carved out, pulled from the depths through relentless pursuit. Experimentation is not a mere exercise. It is the process by which you transform yourself, bit by bit, mistake by mistake, until you become something that others cannot fathom. Each failure in the darkness is not an end, but a key, unlocking the doors to greater understanding, to strength beyond what the world believes possible. Those who hesitate, who fear to experiment in the dark, will always be bound by the chains of mediocrity. Do not waste a single hour. To say you lack time is to admit defeat before the battle has even begun. You have the same hours as those who shaped the world, as those who reached into the darkness and emerged as legends. Helen Keller, Pasteur, Michelangelo, Mother Teresa, Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Jefferson, Albert Einstein. They faced the same constraints, the same limitations of time, but they understood that the hours given were not barriers, but tools. Each hour is an opportunity to experiment, to dive into the unknown and find the threads that will weave greatness into the fabric of your life. Time is not what limits you. Fear is. The darkness is vast, but your willingness to experiment is what determines how far you can go within it. To say you lack time is to allow the fear of the unknown to control you, to keep you bound to the comforts of the known. Those who truly seek greatness know that each second wasted on excuses, on hesitations, is a second handed over to the weak. The dark holds everything, but only for those who are willing to explore it without restriction, without reservation. The darkness does not reveal its potential easily. It requires sacrifice, relentless effort, the willingness to try, fail, and try again. Each hour is an investment, each experiment a gamble where the reward is something far greater than safety or comfort. Greatness feeds on risk, on the willingness to push boundaries, to experiment with what others fear to touch. You must delve deeper, work harder, not because you seek the approval of others, but because you are driven by something insatiable, a frenzy that cannot be sated by the ordinary. Those who changed the world did not wait for the light to show them the way. They made the darkness their ally, their laboratory, a place where they were free to experiment without constraint. They broke boundaries because they understood that only in the unknown, in the depths where others feared to tread, could they find the raw material to build their legacy. Each hour they spent was not an obligation. It was a tool they wielded with precision, carving their path through the darkness with unyielding force. You are given the same hours, the same capacity to reach into the dark and shape your destiny. But you must make the choice to experiment, to act, to push yourself beyond what is comfortable. To conquer the darkness is not to understand it completely, but to master it, to use it as a forge in which you craft your purpose, your power. To waste those hours is to let potential slip through your hands, to surrender to the darkness without ever claiming its gifts. Experiment in the darkness, and you will find something that feeds the fire within, something that ignites a frenzy beyond what the world has ever seen. Do not fear the unknown. It is there that you will find what makes you unstoppable. Conquer the fear of the unknown, for it is only there, in that void, that you will find the power to remake yourself entirely. If you tell the truth about yourself, it becomes a part of your past, a weight cast off, a chain shattered. The moment you face what you are, what you have allowed yourself to become, you release yourself from the endless cycle of deception. But lie, and that lie becomes woven into the fabric of your future, lurking around every corner, tightening its grip until it binds you completely. A lie is not a simple evasion, it is a poison, a silent thief of every ambition, every moment of potential, corrupting each step forward. To lie is to surrender your future to something hollow, something weak. Owning your current miserable state is not a defeat. It's a declaration of war against everything holding you back. Most avoid facing themselves, constructing intricate lies, fortresses of falsehood to shield themselves from the harshness of reality. But each lie is another layer of weakness, another link in the chain that binds them to mediocrity. They fear what they might see if they look too closely, so they run, layering one deception over another, trying to outrun the inevitable reckoning with themselves. But you know better. You know that power lies not in hiding from the dark corners of your mind, but in exposing them to the cold light of recognition. To tell yourself the truth, to confront your own miserable reality, is to seize control. It is to claim responsibility over the life you have shaped, the weaknesses you have allowed to grow, the failures that have defined you. To own that reality is to end its control over you, to transform it from a prison into a foundation. Only those who dare to confront their failures, their darkness, can ever hope to escape it. It is only by owning who you are now in all your imperfection that you can carve a path to something greater.
Look around. Feel that emptiness. That's all that's left when the dust settles. I didn't choose this path. I was thrown into it, forced to pick up the sword and face every damn nightmare they said would make me stronger. But you know what nobody tells you? Strength ain't some blessing. It's a curse. It's the weight of every scar, every friend you bury, every promise that breaks, because life loves to twist the knife and leave you bleeding out, right there in the dirt, gasping for hope. They call me a warrior. Yeah, 'cause I got this armor. 'Cause I keep pushing when everyone else gives up. But they don't know what it's like to feel this kind of tired. Not just in my bones, but in my soul. You see these scars? Each one tells a story, not of victory, but of sacrifice. The nights I spent in darkness, feeling every damn ounce of pain, facing my demons alone. 'Cause no one's ever there when the lights go out. They cheer when you win, but when you're on your knees, ain't a soul that cares enough to pull you up. People think warriors are fearless, like we're invincible. But that's all bull. Fear's what keeps me alive. I wake up every day scared out of my mind. Scared that one day I won't have the strength to get back up. Scared that I'll go down swinging and no one will remember. Scared that this pain I carry, the memories of brothers who ain't here no more, will die with me, like we never mattered.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
I'm here now, standing on the edge, looking into the abyss, and all I see staring back at me is every failure, every regret, every moment I fell short. They say warriors are made to endure, to break and rebuild, but no one tells you how much it tears you apart. They talk about resilience like it's this great thing, but resilience ain't free. Every time I get back up, a part of me dies. The part that dared to hope. The part that dared to believe. So, yeah, call me strong if you want. But strength ain't what it seems. It's the weight of carrying your own grave on your back, knowing every step you take could be your last, and still moving forward, still taking that risk. 'Cause what else is there? Giving up? That's easy. Letting go, lying down, letting life roll over you, that's for the weak. But for the ones who carry on, who fight till their last breath, it's a battle against the world and yourself. I didn't want this. I wanted peace. Wanted a chance to live without looking over my shoulder, without wondering which scar will be my last. But life's cruel like that, huh? It chews you up, spits you out, and leaves you with nothing but the ghost of who you used to be. But I'll keep fighting. Not for glory, not for honor, not for some heroic story. No. I fight 'cause it's all I know. I fight for the ones who fell, for the voices that got lost in the chaos, the pieces of me that died along the way. I fight 'cause I can't do anything else. 'Cause quitting means letting them win. Letting every ounce of pain, every sacrifice be for nothing. And I can't let that happen. They think being a warrior is some epic life, like it's all battles and victories. Nah, it's loss, it's grief. It's waking up each day, knowing you're one step closer to the end, and still pushing, still holding on with bloody hands and a heart that's been torn apart 1,000 times. So, I cry. Yeah, I cry. I cry for every piece of me that's buried under this armor. I cry for every dream I let go of, every friend I lost, every night I spent staring at the sky, wondering if it's even worth it. But I'll fight. I'll drag myself through hell if I have to, crawl on broken bones, and keep going, even if every damn step feels like the last. 'Cause warriors don't stop. We don't get the luxury of peace. Our peace is the fight. Our rest is in the struggle. And when that final breath comes, and the darkness finally swallows me, I'll go knowing I gave it everything, that I didn't break, didn't let the pain make me weak. So remember this, life ain't kind, it ain't fair. It'll take everything from you, rip you to pieces and laugh as you struggle. But don't you dare give up. Don't you dare lie down and let it win. Stand up, even if you're alone, even if you're scared. Stand up and fight till your last breath, till every ounce of you is gone. That's what it means to be a warrior. I may fall, may fade into the dust, but I'll do it on my terms. Not because life broke me, but because I fought with everything I had, and I'll carry that fire until till the very end.
The thing about sadness, it can be a weapon. It can turn into something sharp, something deadly, if you let it. But you're afraid of that, aren't you? Afraid to embrace what you really feel. Afraid to admit that deep down, you want to hurt them. You want them to feel the way they made you feel. That's where the power is, kid. In owning that darkness inside you. In accepting that maybe, just maybe, the only way to get through to them is to speak their language. You know what language that is? Pain, fear, consequence. They don't listen to words. They listen to actions. And when you start showing them that you're not the weak little person they thought you were, they'll take notice. Oh, trust me, they'll take notice. You ever wonder why people like me get respect? Why people fear me? It's not because I'm the biggest or the strongest. Nah, it's because I don't care about their rules. I don't care about playing nice, about being liked. I make my own rules, and I make them live by them. You want to know what the most freeing thing in the world is? It's realizing that you don't owe anyone anything. Not your kindness, not your patience, not your forgiveness, especially not your respect. They want it, they can earn it. But they haven't, have they? They've shown you time and time again that they don't deserve it. So why are you still giving it to them? You've got all this fire inside you, and you've been smothering it, trying to play it safe, trying to fit in, trying not to upset anyone. But what has that gotten you? More disappointment, more pain, more of the same crap day after day. It's time to let that fire out. It's time to burn down the lies you've been telling yourself, that good things come to those who wait.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
That kindness will be rewarded. No, that's not how it works. The world doesn't reward kindness. It rewards strength. And strength comes from doing what others won't. From embracing the parts of yourself you've been told to hide. You think this world cares about fairness? About justice? Look around. Look at the people in power. They didn't get there by being fair. They didn't get there by being nice. They got there by taking what they wanted, by making people fear crossing them. You're not going to change the system by playing by the rules. You want to change the game? You got to break the rules. You got to show them that you're done playing nice. That you're done waiting for permission to be great. You take what's yours. You make them respect you. Not because they want to, but because they don't have a choice. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about turning into some villain. This is about survival. This is about making sure that you don't get trampled on anymore. This is about looking those people in the eye and making them realize that you're not someone they can control anymore. that they can't keep you in a box, that from now on, you're calling the shots. And they'll hate it. Oh, they'll hate it, but they'll respect it. Because respect doesn't come from love or admiration. It comes from power. And you, my friend, you've got more power than you realize. You just need to stop being afraid to use it. You think it's going to be easy? You think just because you finally wake up and see things for what they are, that they're just going to roll over and hand you what you deserve? No, no, no. It's going to get harder before it gets easier. They're going to fight back. Oh, they'll start by acting like nothing's changed. They'll pretend like they still own you, like they still have control over you. And when that doesn't work, they'll try to break you. They'll test every inch of your resolve, every bit of strength you've got. They'll try to make you feel small again, like you don't matter. But that's where you show them. That's where you remind them that you've seen through the lies, that you've woken up to their game. You're gonna feel it, that weight pressing down on you. It's not gonna be fair. It's not gonna feel good. It's gonna hurt like hell. But you've felt that pain before, haven't you? You've carried it, day in and day out. Only this time, you're not carrying it for them. You're carrying it for you. You're wearing it like armor, a reminder that you've been through the fire and come out the other side. They can't burn you anymore, not if you don't let them. And when you show them that, when you look them dead in the eyes and say, I'm still standing, that's when they'll know. That's when they'll understand that they've lost their grip on you, and they'll hate it. Oh, they'll hate it. But they won't be able to deny it. They'll have no choice but to respect it. Respect. They won't give it to you, but you can take it. You can force it. You can make them bend. You can make them kneel. And when they finally do, when they finally show you the respect you deserve, it won't be out of love. It won't be out of admiration. It'll be because they're afraid of what'll happen if they don't. And you know what? That's fine. Let them be afraid. Let them tremble. Because fear is the first step to power. And power, that's what gets you respect. So what are you gonna do? Keep waiting for them to hand you respect? Keep hoping they'll finally see your worth? Or are you gonna take it? Are you gonna make them respect you, whether they like it or not? The choice is yours, kid. But remember, the world doesn't care about your choice. It only cares about strength. And in the end, they will be forced to respect you against their will. Yeah, you think respect is something they hand out like candy, don't you? That they'll look at you, see your good heart, and say, oh, here it is, kid. You've earned it. Nah, it doesn't work that way. Respect is something you gotta rip out of their hands, force it down their throats until they choke on it. They won't give it willingly. They never will. You've been walking around hoping they'd see your worth, hoping they'd give you a seat at the table. But they've been laughing at you. Every time you turned your back, every time you gave an inch, they took miles. They spit on you. You don't even know it, but every time you walked away with your head down, they laughed. You want them to stop? You want them to finally look at you and see something other than a joke? It's simple, but it's not easy. It's not a fairy tale. You're gonna have to bleed for it. Oh yeah, bleed, cry, and claw your way up until they have no choice but to bow to you. Until they have no choice but to fear you. They don't give respect to people like us. We're not born with it, you know? We don't have shiny last names or big, fat wallets to toss around. No. We're born at the bottom of the pit. We're the ones they step on to reach the top. And you've been letting them step on you, haven't you? You've been letting them grind you into the dirt. And why? Because you thought if you were good enough, if you just smiled, if you played by their rules, they'd let you in. But here's the kicker. They never intended to let you in. The game was rigged from the start, kid. You were never meant to win, and they knew that. They smiled in your face while they sharpened the knife for your back. That's how they operate.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
It's all a game, a sick little game, and you're the piece they like to move around, but never let win. You feel that anger, don't you? That tightness in your chest, that fire in your belly? Yeah, that's what you need. That right there, that feeling, that's where you start. You gotta take that and mold it into something sharper. Something harder. Because here's the truth. You won't get respect with kindness. No one respects soft. You want them to respect you? You gotta make them fear you first. They're not gonna like it. Oh no. They'll fight it. They'll call you crazy. They'll call you a monster. But here's the thing. Respect and fear. They're two sides of the same coin. They don't have to love you. Hell, they don't even have to like you. But they will respect you. If they fear what you can do. They will respect you if they know that crossing you has consequences. You think it's sad, don't you? You think it's wrong. You're sitting there, probably thinking, but I don't want people to fear me. I don't want to be like them. Well, newsflash, kid, you don't get to decide that. They've already decided for you. This world doesn't care about your feelings, your morals, your little, I just want to be a good person routine. No. This world chews up good people and spits them out. And you've been spit out too many times. Now, I'm not telling you to be like them. No, you're gonna be something different. Something more. They hide behind their masks of civility. But you're gonna be raw, real. You're gonna take off the mask and show them exactly what's underneath. Show them the scars they gave you. Show them the pain. Make them see what they created. And when they see it, when they finally get a good look at the beast they helped build, they'll have no choice but to respect you. Not because they want to, but because they'll be too afraid not to. You want to be liked? Fine, be liked. But know this, the people who like you won't stick around when things get tough. The moment the world turns on you, the moment you show a little bit of strength, they'll scatter. But the people who fear you, oh, they'll stick around. They'll respect you because they know you're not someone to be messed with. They'll respect you because they'll have no choice. It's sad, sure. It's not how things should be. But since when has this world ever been fair? Since when has anyone gotten what they deserve just by being good? Nah, good doesn't get you respect. Good gets you walked all over. You want to be respected? You gotta get dirty. You gotta get mean. You gotta show them that underneath all that kindness, all that goodness, there's something darker. Something that's been waiting to come out. They'll call you ruthless. They'll call you heartless. But what they call you doesn't matter. What matters is that they respect you. What matters is that when you walk into a room, they shut up. They stop laughing. They stop whispering. Because they know, oh, they know, you're not someone they can mess with anymore. They'll push you over and over again, testing your limits. They want to see how far they can go before you snap. They get off on it, watching you struggle. But you've been too nice, haven't you? You've let it slide. You told yourself, next time, I'll stand up for myself. But next time never came, did it? Because every time you thought about fighting back, that little voice in your head said, maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they'll change. Spoiler alert, they won't. They never will. The only thing that changes people like that is fear. Fear of losing control over you. Fear of what you'll do when you finally wake up and stop playing by their rules. Look at you. You've been walking around with this fake smile, trying to please everybody. But deep down, you know you're not happy. You're angry. You're furious. And you're sad too. Because you gave them everything. And they gave you nothing in return. That's the worst part, isn't it? That sadness. It sits in your chest, heavy like a weight you can't shake off. Every time they ignored you, dismissed you, humiliated you, it added another layer to that sadness. And now, you're drowning in it. But here's the thing about sadness. It can be a weapon. It can turn into something sharp, something deadly, if you let it. But you're afraid of that, aren't you? Afraid to embrace what you really feel. Afraid to admit that deep down, you want to hurt them. You want them to feel the way they made you feel. That's where the power is, kid. In owning that darkness inside you. In accepting that maybe, just maybe, the only way to get through to them is to speak their language. You know what language that is? Pain, fear, consequence. They don't listen to words. They listen to actions. And when you start showing them that you're not the weak little person they thought you were, they'll take notice.
You think this pain's a choice? Think I woke up one day and decided to be haunted by every loss, every failure? Nah. Pain finds you, crawls into your veins and makes itself at home, digs in deep, and no matter how hard you try, you can't rip it out. It lives there, reminding you, taunting you, whispering that maybe it's all for nothing. I hear it every day, that little voice saying, just give up, lie down, let it all go. But I can't stop, not yet. See, there's this fire, call it pride, call it rage. I don't even know what it is anymore, but it's the only thing that keeps me moving. That fire's all I have left. It's burnt through everything else, leaving nothing but ashes. Friends, gone. Dreams, dead. And this world, this God-forsaken world doesn't care. It watches, it laughs, and it waits for you to crumble. But even if I'm broken, even if I'm barely holding on, I'll spit in the face of that darkness. Yeah, you heard me. I may be down, may be bruised, scarred, torn to pieces, but I'm still here, still breathing, still defying every damn thing that's tried to bury me. It wants to see me crawl. Then, fine, I'll crawl. I'll crawl through the mud, the blood, through every ounce of misery, 'cause I know something it doesn't. I know that pain doesn't own me. Not completely. Not yet. I think of the ones who couldn't make it, the ones who fought just as hard, but fell before the end.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
They're gone. And their voices, their screams, they echo in my head like some twisted reminder. They're gone, but their fight isn't. Their battles, their scars, they're carved into me now, living on through this broken, beaten shell of a man. And I carry that every day. Every step, I carry that weight. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever find peace. If there's a place out there where the noise stops, where I can finally lay down this sword and let the memories rest. But until that day comes, if it ever does, I'm bound to this fight. Bound to push through the pain, the loneliness, the silence that comes after everyone else is gone. I have no choice. And maybe that's what it means to be a warrior. It ain't about the glory, the cheers, the legends. It's about the quiet moments, the times when you're alone and you're drowning. but you choose to rise anyway. It's about facing the truth that no one else wants to see. That life is brutal, cold, and it'll crush you without a second thought. But you don't let it. You refuse to let it break you. Yeah, I'm scared. Scared of what comes next. Of what other trials, what other hells I'll have to face. But fear is just another enemy. And I've faced 1,000 enemies before. This one's no different, so I swallow it, bury it deep, and keep moving. That's all I know how to do. I look back sometimes, and it feels like I've lost everything, like there's nothing left to fight for. But then I remember that fire, that promise I made to myself, that I wouldn't quit, that I wouldn't lie down and let the world have its way. I'll keep pushing, keep fighting, 'cause that's the only way I know to honor those who fell, those who gave everything and didn't make it. They live on through me, through every step, every breath, every scar that I carry. And maybe one day, when my time finally comes, when the darkness closes in and the weight becomes too much, I'll go knowing that I fought till the very end, that I didn't let the pain, the fear, the loss consume me. I'll go knowing that I was more than the scars, more than the battles, more than the emptiness. I'll go knowing that in the end, I was free. So, until then, I'll keep walking this path, no matter how broken, no matter how painful. I'll fight with every ounce of strength I have left. And when that strength fades, I'll find more. I'll keep pushing forward, carrying every memory, every ghost, every fragment of the ones I've lost. I'll carry it all, 'cause that's what it means to be a warrior. And I'll go on, through the darkness, through the pain, until there's nothing left of me but the echoes of a soul that refuse to break. Do you think I like this? Think I take pride in walking this path alone? In carrying every loss, every betrayal like a brand on my skin? No. I'd give anything to feel at peace, to let this weight slip from my shoulders just once. But peace is a luxury for the soft, for those who don't have to fight every damn day just to keep their heads above water, for those who haven't seen what I've seen, haven't lost what I've lost. Every step I take forward, I can feel the shadows of those I left behind. Their voices, their faces, they haunt me, whispering my failures, reminding me of every choice that led to their deaths, to their pain. And that's the cruelest part, isn't it? The ones who fall, they never leave you. They stay, lingering in the corners of your mind, just as much as my own flesh and blood. They remind me that I couldn't save them, that no matter how hard I fought, it wasn't enough. So, yeah, I walk this road alone.